Manchester United is planning a $2 billion stadium, sparking huge controversy. Fans are split. Some see a modern upgrade. Others fear losing Old Trafford's legacy. Critics question the cost, timing, and impact on the club's soul. Is this progress or a betrayal of tradition? Let's break it down for you why this decision has everyone talking. For over 100 years, Old Trafford has been more than just a stadium. It's been a symbol of Manchester United. This is where legends were born, trophies were lifted, and fans around the world found their football home. Nicknamed the Theatre of Dreams, it once stood proud as one of the greatest arenas in world football, and United fans would probably die defending it. But let's face the facts. Old Trafford, as magnificent as it once was, is showing its age. Cracks in the stands, outdated facilities, and cramped spaces for fans have led many to question whether it's time for a change. Old Trafford hasn't seen a major upgrade since 2006. Yeah, back when flip phones were the rage and Ronaldo was still doing step-overs instead of breaking records. Since then, crickets. While rival clubs have rolled out sleek, futuristic stadiums with gourmet food, luxury lounges, and Wi-Fi fast enough to stream 4K replays, Old Trafford stayed stuck in football's version of dial-up. But this isn't just about looks anymore. The place is literally falling apart. When it rains, fans don't just watch the game, they get rained on. The leaky roof turns match day into a water park experience no one signed up for. The concourses, cramped, outdated, and chaotic. Imagine trying to enjoy a 10-pound pie and pint while dodging elbows in and what feels like a 1990s city bus. And the food situation, it went from bad to straight-up scandalous. In 2023, guests at a hospitality event were served raw chicken, not slightly pink, full-on raw. That health horror shouldn't just gross people out, it led to a downgraded hygiene rating. For a club of this stature, that's simply beyond embarrassing and it's unacceptable. Tech-wise, the stadium is equally behind. Tiny, outdated scoreboards, patchy Wi-Fi that barely works. Fans would probably get a stronger signal if they stood outside with a coat hanger. Meanwhile, Tottenham Stadium looks like it was built for a space colony, and Arsenal's Emirates is smooth and sleek. Compared to those, Old Trafford feels more like a football museum than a modern-day arena. But the final slap in the face, Old Trafford was excluded from the Euro 2028 stadium list. Yes, the biggest club stadium in England didn't make the cut. Why? Because it was so outdated that UEFA couldn't trust it to hold a top-level match. Instead, they chose Tottenham's ultra-modern ground, the Etihad, and even Everton's new stadium, which isn't even finished yet. Ouch. So now what? You can't fix something this broken with just a paint job and a few patches. It needs a full-on rebirth. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, the big bosses at Manchester United, said enough is enough. It's time to think big. It's time to think bold. It's time to build a brand new stadium. One that matches Manchester United's legacy. One that's loud, bold, and made for the future, not stuck in the past. The prize, $2 billion. If you think that was a waste, drop a comment. If you think it's genius, hit like and subscribe before the Glazers bite back. So what does a $1 billion stadium actually look like? Well, if you ask some fans, it looks like a circus tent. Yes, that's what they're calling it. The new stadium, designed by Norman Foster, the famous architect behind Apple's spaceship-like HQ and London's Gherkin, is not your average football ground. It's part stadium, part futuristic dream. Foster describes his design as a global destination. With a 100,000-seat capacity, it will surpass the 90,000-seat Wembley Stadium to become the biggest stadium in the UK. The main feature? A giant umbrella-like canopy that covers the entire stadium and surrounding area. But this umbrella isn't just for looks. Foster says the huge canopy isn't just there to make the place look like a theme park. It's a multifunctional shield built to harvest rainwater, generate energy, and provide shelter for the massive outdoor plaza, which will be twice the size of Trafalgar Square. That's right, twice the size. The plan also includes to build an entire stadium district completely with green spaces, walkways, and local transport links. The entire area is supposed to be fully walkable and eco-friendly. As for the stadium itself, it's massive 100,000 seats, which will make it one of the largest in the world. And the goal? To finish in just 5 years. That's like fast. Like really fast. Normally, a project of this magnitude would take around 10 years. But Foster is confident that prefabrication, basically assembling parts off-site and then putting them together like a giant puzzle, will speed things up. Fans are split, though, about whether the new design is the right move. On one side, you have supporters excited for a new start, a futuristic stadium, a reborn club, and finally a place that reflects the modern era of football. They're ready to leave behind the leaky roof and outdated facilities of Old Trafford. But others, well, not so convinced. Take a stroll through social media and you'll see quickly what we mean. The phrase "Circus Tent" is trending. Mark Goldbridge, a popular streamer, commented, "Looks like a circus tent and we're running like one." Another posted, "April Fool's Day came in early." The circus tent at Old Trafford. The clowns can't afford lunch and now want British taxpayers to build a clown stadium. The big concern for many is that moving away from Old Trafford would rip the soul out of the club. This history and atmosphere at Old Trafford are a massive part of what makes Manchester United special, and fans are afraid that a new stadium might lose that magic. Local residents have their own concerns too. They worry about traffic, litter, and matchday disruptions. However, others see potential economic benefits, anticipating more business opportunities and improved infrastructure. A survey revealed that 52% of fans supported relocating, 31% preferred redeveloping Old Trafford, and 17% are unsure. While Manchester United is busy dreaming up a shiny billion-dollar stadium, what's happening over at Manchester City? You might think they'd be nervous, right? But hold on, because it's not exactly what you think. Manchester City's Etihad Stadium has been the crown jewel of the club for years. It's modern, sleek, and definitely not a slouch in the stadium department. But it's smaller, doesn't have that massive, flashier appeal, and honestly, it's not as iconic as Old Trafford. So with United's big announcement, is this the moment that Manchester United outshines City once again? Are we witnessing a potential power shift? But before we get you too excited, let's consider the financial side of things. United's recent money troubles are well known, and of course the biggest question on everyone's mind is how Manchester United plans to actually pay for this massive project. Manchester United has a few potential options, though each one comes with its own set of issues. One option is naming rights. Modern football stadiums often sell naming rights to corporate sponsors in exchange for millions, and given United's global brand, they're likely to secure a massive deal. Some estimates suggest the club could pull in anywhere from 500 to 600 million pounds for long-term naming rights. While this sounds promising, the risk is that it could erode the legacy of Old Trafford. For generations, Old Trafford has been a sacred symbol of the club's rich history, and if a corporate name replaces it, it could feel like selling out, turning a historic monument into a billboard for a sponsor. Then there is the personal seat licenses, PSL, a method that some other clubs like Tottenham have used to raise funds up front. With PSLs, fans essentially pay for the right to purchase season tickets for specific seats, which could raise hundreds of millions of pounds. However, it's a controversial move. Loyal supporters could be left paying even more just to keep their seats, which is a tough pill to swallow. United fans are already questioning whether this method could divide the club's fan base, as they feel priced out by the very people that they've been cheering for all these years. And United isn't seeking direct government funding for the stadium, but they are expecting public investments for essential infrastructure improvements around the stadium. This includes things like transport and accessibility improvements to make the new district more walkable and sustainable. Despite the hefty price tag, Manchester United is confident that the long-term financial benefits will outweigh the initial costs. The club believes that matchday revenue could increase from £134 million to over £200 million annually once the new stadium is operational. They also anticipate significant boost in sponsorship opportunities and non-matchday revenue from the surrounding development. The project is set to begin construction by the end of this year, with the new stadium slated for completion around 2030. If everything goes according to plan, the club will continue playing at Old Trafford during the 5-year construction period, ensuring a smooth transition when the new stadium is finished. But with so many unknowns still lingering, financial, emotional, and logistical, only time will tell if this gamble pays off. Should a club like Manchester United really pour in $1 billion into a stadium while fans demand better performances? Drop in your opinion in the comments. Like and share if this stirred you up. And if you think that's wild, wait till you see LA's $9.5 billion railway madness. And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories.